Hello, friends. Welcome once again to the Undergraduate Impact Program Mentorship. This is lesson 2 of the second module, and I am so glad to be taking you on this module. My name is Chamaka. Welcome once again. And this very module is very important. It's going to be building on what you learned in the first lesson. And I hope you really enjoyed everything you studied and everything you listened to, you interacted with the workbook, and you made the best out of it. I want you to know something very important as we go ahead with this. That right now, as you're watching this, your life is moving in a direction. Not next year, not after graduation, now. The habits you're forming, the decisions you are excusing or you're taking, the standards you're lowering or you're elevating, they are shaping who you are becoming. And here is the part many people, especially young people, don't realize. You don't suddenly become a person of character, when life gets serious. You become more of who you've been practicing to be. I think I need to take that line again. You become more of who you've been practicing to be. That is why some students, get into leadership positions later, or people generally, and, abuse power. That's why some people finally get money, the money they've been pursuing, and then they lose themselves. Or, that's why people get into the relationships they've been looking forward to and that looks promising, and it suddenly collapses. It's not sudden, it's accumulated compromise, right? And if you don't build values now, you won't magically develop when life demands them, or develop those values when life demands them from you. That is why this matters now. This topic we're going to be talking about in this lesson matters to you now, not when you're 30 or when you're finally married, or when you've gotten that big job, or you've gotten that business you're trying to pursue now. Remember, in the last section, we talked about self-discovery, knowing who you are. But knowing yourself without defining your standards is dangerous. It's like a dead end. It's just like you come to your mirror, you look at yourself in the mirror, and then you simply walk away without making necessary adjustments. It just looks like a waste of time. So in this lesson, we want to talk about values. Values are the principles that guide your decisions when no one is watching, right? They are like your internal rules, your compass, the invisible compass that guides you, helps to regulate your life and the way you live daily. They are like your moral filters. Your values determine how you study, who you date, what you tolerate, the opportunities you accept to reject, the kind of friends you keep, the version of yourself that you become. And it reflects in everything that you do, right? And here's the truth many young people do not hear enough. You don't rise to your ambition, you fall to your values. I'll repeat that again. You don't just rise to your ambition, you fall to your values. Values are like your internal standards. They are the lines you refuse to cross, even when crossing them could benefit you, right? They are your guide for the decisions you make when the exam is difficult, that relationship is tempting, the opportunity that is before you looks shady, like, if I grab the opportunity, it's going to kind of benefit me in one way or the other. And the pressure is intense. You're hunting between, should I take it, should I not take it? But you know that, taking it has consequences. So imagine the story of a student who had a test to write, right? And he felt, okay, I'm not prepared for this test, so I'll just cheat. And he cheats in the test, and then he feels he walks away with it, and then he goes on to the exam. He cheats. One exam becomes many exams, and then he graduates out of school with that result, and he gets a job. And because he's cultivated that habit of cheating, falsifies reports, and he got dismissed from the office, right? And it's not just about even the dismissal. Think about the embarrassment. It's not just himself, those who love him. And that's the thing about values. That thing he normalized when he was in the university, worked with him all through even his career path. Because values are not just built quietly, they show up loudly. So it's not just about I have them inside. They're a reflection of who you are. And you don't even know most times when you even display them, right? And I want you to make this personal. If approval is your strongest value, you will struggle to say no. If comfort is your strongest value, you will avoid discipline. If money is your strongest value, integrity will become negotiable. Your life will always move in the direction of your strongest value. And that is why it's important for you to not just answer the question of, do I have values, right? You need to really answer the question of, did I choose these values consciously? Because if you don't choose your values, your environment will automatically choose them for you. And university is an environment of influence. Your friends influence you, your favorite influencers on social media influence you, your relationship influences you, your fears, in fact, also influences you, right? And I want to give you a framework that will help you to intentionally build your values, because that's what this is about. So you're going to use the letters of the word value to spell out how to cultivate values, good values, intentionally. The very first word and letter there is V, and that stands for verify what influences you. Before you define your values, examine what is shaping you. Someone could say, I value focus, but look at her time. Look at how she spends her time. She spends like 6 hours on screen on social media. Constant comparison, constant distraction. You will automatically see that that person doesn't actually live true to her values. She could say, I value this, but something else influences the way she lives her life. So she lacked awareness of what influences her, right? You cannot build strong values in a weak environment. You cannot build strong values when you are not able to identify the things that surround you that influences the way you live your life. So ask yourself the question, what is feeding my mind daily? What behavior am I slowly normalizing? If you don't verify what influences you, you will inherit values by default, right? You will inherit values from people, from circumstances, from environment. So the next letter there in the word value is A. And that leads us to the next thing. Acknowledge what matters deeply to you. So you've identified the things that have influenced your life so far. Now sit back. Think about the things that matter to you, not just what sounds intelligent or what your friends are talking about. What truly matters to you? Choose example 5 of them. Is it integrity, excellence, faith, discipline, respect, growth, service to people? Be very specific, because when everything matters, nothing actually leads. So think about the things that actually resonate with you, that matter to you, and let them be your defining factor. Somebody could say, I value excellence, but you ask the person, what is excellence? And the person cannot categorically explain what excellence means to him or her, because excellence could mean different things to people. Someone could see 50% as excellence, but that's not really excellence, to someone else who values excellence as 100%. So clearly state what those values mean to you, in clear words. Let there be clarity, because clarity actually brings and protects conviction. So now that you've identified those things that matter to you, the real test begins. And that leads us to letter L. Live them daily. Values are not Instagram captions. They are not hashtags. They're not catchy words. They are daily behaviors you intentionally keep. If honesty is your value, then it must show up in your coursework. If discipline is your value, it must show up in the way you manage your time. If respect is your value, it must show up in how you speak to people, even people who you cannot benefit from, right? Small decisions reveal real values. So imagine 2 roommates, both of them have this great goal of graduating out of school with a first class. And one of them has this value of discipline. So he knows that when I'm tired in notes, as much as possible, I'll keep to the timetable I have to study. And so he does that, right? Studies his book, stayed focused. And the other person is like, discipline is not my thing. I'll just read when it's convenient. Both of them are very intelligent students, but values are the things that separate people. And so the other person who felt, at my convenient time, I'll just study, still did averagely well. But at the end of their stay in school, the other person had the first class he desired, because he put in the work of study, while the other person still graduated with a good result but not a first class, right? And this is just an example, like a story to show that values actually play out in the long run, and you have to be intentional to let your values guide you. All right, let's continue. At this point, you really need to be honest about something. Yes, living by values is actually most times not very comfortable, it's demanding. And that brings us to the next step we have to talk about in understanding the framework that will help us to intentionally select and keep to our values. And that is you understand the cost. Integrity may cost you popularity. And if you read stories or hear stories of people who chose to stand by their integrity, it will cost you popularity, or maybe something that other people will feel, this is very precious, you don't have to lose it, right? Discipline may cost you comfort. Think about that student I talked about who, instead of sleeping around, that we are sleeping or playing and all that, decided to study. Boundaries may cost you relationships, because those who don't have boundaries around their lives, you're not going to keep up well with them, because you know that I have boundaries, I have things that I don't want to breach, and these things are the things I value in my life. Focus may cost you entertainment, right? There'll be moments when doing the right thing feels like you're lonely. That does not mean that you're wrong. It means you are growing. If you avoid the cost now, you will pay greater cost later. Greater cost like damaged reputation, broken trust, lost opportunities. And rebuilding trust is harder than protecting them. And that's why you must take and pay the price. Finally, E, evaluate yourself regularly. Growth requires reflection. So pause weekly and ask yourself, did my actions this week or this day, align with my stated values? And if not, why? Self-evaluation prevents silent drift, because drift is subtle. You don't wake up one day and decide to become inconsistent. It happens gradually, right? So evaluation is something that will help to keep you aligned always. And as a way of ending this lesson, I want to just tell you something that I hope challenges you. Your future self, your future destiny needs someone with values. Your future employer, the job you're looking forward to, the business you want to create, your friends, your future spouse need someone with values. So you're creating these values to benefit both yourself today and all those who you meet tomorrow, and even your future self, your future destiny, that thing you're building and looking towards. The world does not reward noise, it rewards character, and character is built on values. Right now, you may think, I'm just a student, it's relevant. It is, because you are building a reputation among your friends, among your lecturers, among those who you meet every day, and even within yourself. The person you're becoming and building will either attract or repel that thing you're working towards, that thing you want to get for yourself. So I hope you learned something important from lesson 2 on values, and I hope that you're going to apply everything you've learned to yourself. Sit down with those 5 words, think about all those things we've talked about, take the right steps. Look at your workbook, we have extra resources for you in them, engage with them, answer the questions. And if you have questions for us, feel free to shoot us a DM or just drop it in the community. I'll be very glad to answer your questions and elaborate further on this conversation around values. So once again, thank you very much for joining us, and I hope to see you in the next lesson. Till then, bye.